Today's episode of this anime begins with Nefertima informing us that they have reached the Monster Knight stable, which houses many rare creatures. They are greeted by the captain of the Monster Knights, who takes them on a tour. The captain introduces herself as the captain of the special unit called the Monster Knights, named Leston Ogma. He asks Nefertima to call him Les, and he gets to know her name. Leston is impressed by Nefertima and finds her captivating due to her kindness and cheerfulness. Leston then recalls hearing a lot about Nefertima, but he mentions that she seems like an ordinary girl, hardly standing out as described by Dan. However, Leston's friend informs him that the red dragon submitted to Nefertima, allowing her to ride it. Leston reflects on Dan's love for dragons, which led him to leave the Monster Knights to join the Dragon Knights, eventually becoming their leader. Back to reality. Leston thinks to himself that Nefertima is just a charming young girl. The scene transitions to Nefertima, Leston, and Dan arriving at the monster stable. Néma expresses her excitement, comparing it to a safari. Dan explains that magic is used to preserve this place, ensuring a better life for the animals. Leston suggests taking Néma on a tour on horseback. Leston whistles, and a horse comes running towards them. Néma is overjoyed by the beautiful horse named Was, praising its silky mane and brave elegance. However, when Leston proposes playing together, Was refuses. Néma realizes that Was is not the friendly type and informs Les that Was can be selfish sometimes. When Was hears this, he becomes furious. Néma approaches Was, placing her hands on his head, explaining to Les that Was is not selfish but the leader of the herd, and people should be cautious around him if they don't know him well. Leston realizes that Was intentionally behaves this way to keep humans away from the herd. Néma informs them that Was is a highly intelligent horse. Leston approaches Was and apologizes, expressing that he had not realized this before. The atmosphere becomes joyful, and everyone is happy. We then see Dan and Nefertima riding a beautiful white horse named Hugh, known for its gentle nature and following wherever you go, making it suitable for beginners. Nefertima, talking to herself, expresses her wish that this horse resembles the one the princess rides in fairy tales, hoping it would be perfect for her brother. Les, Dan, and Néma take a tour around the stable on their horses. Néma is thrilled with the ride, and as they continue, they encounter a giant wild boar searching for insects underground. Suddenly, the boar's piglets appear and head towards Néma and her friends. Néma panics, but Les informs her that the piglets just want to play and that they target her due to their love for games. He explains that every year, Monster Knights faces injuries from these piglets, causing Néma to become very scared. The horses run away from the piglets, but suddenly the horse stops and snorts. Scaring the piglets away. Les thanks Was for saving them. The friends continue their tour, reaching a flock of birds. Les introduces them as walker birds, the fastest land animals used as messengers and in emergencies. Nefertima becomes excited and expresses her desire to ride one. However, Les warns her that it's very dangerous and requires intensive training due to their incredible speed. Nefertima insists on riding one, and Les decides to join her, securing a safety belt around her abdomen. He informs her that when she holds onto the harness, she must bow to it and embrace it. When she touched its body, she felt that it was extremely soft and also very gentle. The Leviathan informs her that if she grips it too tightly, it will stop, so she must be cautious. Nefertima is very excited, wondering how fast this bird is, as it seems incredibly swift. Leston, talking to himself, notes that this girl seems to be fearless. The Leviathan takes off with incredible speed. Making Nefertima unable to breathe due to the rushing air. Leston apologizes, realizing he forgot to cast the spell that closes off the air, allowing them to travel safely. He kicks the Leviathan to make it go even faster. After the thrilling ride, Nefertima gets off the Leviathan, feeling disoriented. Leston laughs at her because she can't walk, mentioning that the speed was only about 50% of its maximum. Next, they witness a falcon soaring in the sky, swirling around them, and they whistle to it. The falcon descends onto Leston's arm, and Nefertima is excited by the sight. Leston tells her that the falcon is a glide, often used for message delivery. As usual, Nefertima speaks up, expressing her desire to hold the falcon on her arm. But she realizes her hands are too small for that. They receive a message from the falcon, and Leston apologizes as one of his followers has caused significant trouble. He needs to return to headquarters immediately. He mentions that if he has free time later, he'd be delighted to take them on a broader tour, spending more time with them. Nefertima talks to Dan about wanting to see Gensel, and the scene shifts to Leston, addressing the soldiers, inquiring about how the White Isle escaped, and emphasizing its rarity. He apologizes for not being attentive and instructs them to form a team with dogs to track it down and capture it before it escapes further. The soldiers move quickly, and Leston talks to himself, expressing that this is the worst day ever. He reminisces about Nefertima playing with Waz and Yosio, noting that everyone loves her. Opening his eyes, he sees Nefertima with the creature that had escaped earlier. And Leston is amazed. Nefertima explains that she was trying to return from visiting Gensel when she found the lost creature and brought it back. Leston is delighted with this unexpected turn of events. He speaks to himself, astonished that Nefertima, with her keen awareness, found the White Island so quickly. He reflects on not underestimating people and not judging them solely based on appearance, as everyone has hidden talents. Meanwhile, after Néma finishes playing, she returns home. Her parents congratulate her on her birthday, and when they ask what she wishes for, Nefertima thanks them and asks to go to the city. Her father is initially shocked and refuses due to the danger, but her mother encourages the idea, stating that she'll be safe as long as she's with someone. Nefertima suggests going with her sister Karina, and her father agrees. When her mother proposes sending Paul with them for added safety, Nefertima is excited about this being her first shopping trip. The scene shifts to Nefertima, Karina, and Paul wandering through the city. Nefertima is fascinated, and Karina explains that this is a bustling commercial area. She shares information about the 4 distinctive districts in the royal capital: the industrial, public, noble, and commercial districts. Nefertima is amazed at the lively atmosphere and learns that the king wanted the city to look beautiful even from the sky. Karina expresses her happiness about shopping with Nefertima, and they continue exploring the vibrant city. Then the 2 girls run after each other, enjoying their time, with Paul following behind them. When Nefertima enters the market, it feels like she has stepped into a festival. The place is incredibly enjoyable, filled with ready-to-eat foods and sweets. Nefertima asks her older sister, Karina, to teach her how to spend money. Karina agrees to educate her, explaining that the smallest currency unit is the ray equivalent to 10 copper spikes, and a drink at the store costs 8 rays. She also mentions that a coffee session at the cafe is around 3 copper spades. Nefertima understands counting on her fingers and gets ready for shopping. As they explore, Nefertima feels like she's in a lively and exciting place. She requests 3 portions of turkey from a cook, who informs her that they serve the finest turkey in the world. The cook then asks for 3 copper spades, and Nefertima happily hands over the money. She receives the chicken she ordered and returns to her sister Karina, feeling triumphant about her successful shopping trip. Nefertima then distributes the chicken among her sister and Paul, who express their gratitude. She playfully sprinkles Paul with some flour to make him carry her items, and they all share a laugh. Afterwards, she gives a piece of chicken to her dog as a special reward for his birthday. Following that, Nefertima catches a delightful aroma and follows it to a bakery. There she discovers a delicious pastry called Baby, made by a baker who fries the dough until it puffs up. Excited, she asks the baker for 3 pieces, but the baker suggests buying 20 and adds 3 more as a bonus. Nefertima happily agrees, and the baker informs her that the total cost is 1 copper speak. Nefertima hands over the money, receives her pastries, and continues her joyful shopping adventure. After that, Nefertima goes to her sister, and her sister asks her what she will do with all those sweets. Nefertima explains that she bought some for her father, mother, and everyone in the house. Her sister Karina embraces her because she is a very sweet little girl. Then they all go to a tavern. Karina asks Nefertima to enter and sit for a while. When they enter, Karina meets 3 of her friends. One of them greets Karina and expresses surprise at meeting her. Here, Karina explains that she was shopping with her sister. The girl looks at Nefertima and comments that it must be challenging to have a sister who is a failure and lacks any magical abilities, not resembling her father at all and having scary black eyes. Guy responds, questioning what she means by that. Karina defends her sister, saying that no one appreciates the beauty of her little sister, especially noble people. Insulting someone you meet for the first time is not fitting for the manners of a noble lady. She advises her not to tarnish the reputation of her honorable family. They decide to leave and see Néma and her sister. Karina suggests that Nefertima must be exhausted and needs to rest. Néma replies that she slept in the carriage, so she's fine. In her thoughts, Néma reflects on the encounter with the annoying girls at the cafe and how her sister was wonderful. Néma enters her room and is surprised to find her family and friends gathered to celebrate her birthday. Her father reveals that they kept it a secret to surprise her. Néma is overwhelmed with joy, thanking them for the surprise. They proceed to have a meal and celebrate. Princess Ali calls her and gives her a gift from both the princess and the king. Néma opens the gift, finding a necklace with a powerful magical stone inside. The king mentions that she needs a specific enchantment to use it. Then a boy arrives and asks them what is happening. He gives Néma a bracelet, saying, "Unlike my parents' gift, this will protect you. Always remember to wear it." Another girl appears, saying, "I bought you clothes, a hat, and shoes that have been modified for you to wear when you grow up." Everyone in the place gives her gifts. San, the small bird, gives her a young hawk named Rain Falcon, claiming it to be the smartest and strongest born in the season. Néma asks if she can take care of it, and San responds that she will raise it in the house because Néma showed great interest in Galai's hawks that day. Galai's hawks are still too big for her, so take care of Rain Falcon instead. Néma expresses her gratitude for all the gifts, saying it was the best birthday present. The scene then shifts to the night, when Néma says it was a very enjoyable day with many people celebrating her birthday. She looks at the bird and says, "I'll name you Nox, and from now on we'll be friends." With that, the episode concludes. I appreciate you viewing my anime recap, Unruly Family. Please let me know what you think about the third part of Fluffy Paradise by liking, sharing, subscribing, and leaving a comment. Take you